Hello, hello. Let me put up my there. Yeah, my daughter was in the emergency room all night last night, so she had a chest pain. So they she's over there with my son, so he took her and she spent the whole night in the emergency room, and they think she might have like a little heart arrhythmia or something that's causing this because it's something that comes and goes. So so yeah, I'm certain it's something pretty simple. I'm not
She's exactly where she needs to be.
exactly. That's
She's in good hands.
yeah, absolutely,
Thank
absolutely.
thank God for people who know about these things because I surely don't.
I know it, man. I mean, I'm just I mean, I do know a lot, and of course, my partner is a nurse, and that's kind of a good thing that we can talk about, what the possibilities are and what she's seen, and
Mhm.
it's a lot calming also. So let's see, Iris, do you remember where we were? I didn't go and look it up.
Good morning, Lynn. We're at fear and conflict. And we are on, I think last week we just finished paragraph 2.
Okay.
So now we are on paragraph 3.
All right. Will you please pray us in?
Yes, I will pray us in. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent Him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because He who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever He wishes, knowing He goes there with me. I will be healed as I let Him teach me to heal. Amen.
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 Amen. Amen. Amen. All right. So yeah, welcome everybody. Good morning to you all, and happy beautiful Saturday. It's good to see this beautiful group. I did say no to Joni's note taker, so uh, so it is not actually taking notes. So um, and she will have to. I guess I have to type stop to make it go out too. So, but anyway, I said no, no more. So anyway, who would like to read paragraph 3?
I'll take it.
Thank you, Rafi.
It is pointless to believe that controlling the outcome of misthoughts can result in healing. When you are fearful, you have chosen wrongly. That is why you feel responsible for it. Let's change your mind.
Rafi, come closer to your microphone. If for some reason you're going in and out.
It is pointless to believe. Is that better?
Yes, much better.
It is pointless to believe that controlling the outcome of misthought can result in healing. When you are fearful, you have chosen wrongly. That is why you feel responsible for it. You must change your mind, not your behavior, and this is a matter of willingness. You do not need guidance except at the mind level. Correction belongs only at the level where change is possible. Change does not mean anything at the symptom level where it cannot work. Yeah, asking a mind to solve a problem that it created is a stupid. But you get caught up in that thing, and we actually do it.
Can't hear you, Rafi.
Asking the mind to solve a problem it created is really stupid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's because you're not, I don't know what. I'm not blaming you for your sound not working right, but we just need to be mindful of it. So anybody else have any thoughts on this paragraph? Yeah, Karen.
What always helps me in a situation which this reminds me of is that, the prayer in chapter 5 where when he says, I must have decided wrongly because I am not at peace. And I use that on a daily basis, especially when I notice that I'm not at peace, which is a lot. So this is what this reminds me of. When you are fearful, you have chosen wrongly. And I say that prayer, and it's so simple to say that. And it helps so much because it puts me back in my right mind. It makes me realize that I'm out of my mind, so you must change your mind, not your behavior. And this is a matter of willingness. And that is it. That's everything. And that's all day long. It's like, do I want to be miserable or do I want to be happy? It's really, I really notice, my thoughts. I really notice. And my thoughts, if they're not happy thoughts or not um, helpful thoughts, then my behavior isn't good. I can feed into negativity very easily, especially if I'm around negative people. So it's just a matter of willingness. And yeah, I love that. I love to be reminded. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you for that. And yeah, and even when I'm around negative-minded people, I'm like the Pollyanna. I'm always looking for the best thing. So, and that is very irritating to a lot of people. I really have to be very careful about that, in fact, because, disagreeing with everybody when they're angry about something doesn't make them happy with you either. So it's a matter of communication. So Iris, please go ahead.
Thanks, Lynn. Yeah, I completely relate to that. Completely. Uh, uh, like my mood immediately improved as soon as I came in here. And it's and nothing different has happened. Just something like a switch went on in my head. And all of a sudden I feel joyous. I didn't feel like this 10 minutes ago. So it's hasn't got anything to do with behavior. It's to do with just the thoughts that are going on, the thoughts that we are entertaining. Um, and the other thing is exactly like in the world, when I say the world, I just mean just world in general, like especially in work, for example. And it's kind of uh just very interesting because I just thought of that now, that in a work situation or any situation, uh uh any situation, um but I'll pick the work one because that one, I've been really having a challenge with. This is there's everything is so kind of serious, and everything is so it should quote go this way instead of going any other way. It should quote go this way. And it just makes me think that like there is another way of looking at this. The way that the world thinks is not the way that we think. And it says that in one of the lessons, you must learn that it's the thought that comes first. In that lesson that says, I have no neutral thoughts, it says that this is not the way the world thinks, but you must learn that this is the way that you think, that it's always the thought that comes first, and then everything else. Let me just pick that lesson really quickly. I just remembered it. by chance. And I forgot what number it is. I think it's like just very early lessons. I have no neutral thoughts.
That's lesson 17.
Lesson 17. Thank you, Karen. It says here that oh yeah, it says I see no neutral things. This idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. Like everything is neutral. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it is the other way round. This is not the way the world thinks, but you must learn that it is the way you think. If it were not so, perception would have no cause and would itself be the cause of reality. And like, so it's like I'll forget every moment. I'll forget, and then I have to remember, like, because I'm so used to the other way. I'm so used to thinking like, I'm not cause, I'm effect. I'm effect. And then it's like, as Dove says, effect, effect, effect. But like choosing God, choosing God, and it's remembering every moment. And I'll hand back to Lynn.
Thank you, Iris. Wow. That's just so beautiful. And, what great understanding, what great realization that, brings you to that place. And, the workplace is a great place to show us how silly our thinking is. So I really, really appreciate it. Mickey, please go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Iris. That was really beautiful, and a remembrance of that it all comes from the mind. And I love where it says here in the paragraph, you do not need guidance except at the mind level. Correction belongs only at the level where change is possible.
Silly our thinking is. So I really, really appreciate it. Oh, sorry about that. I was listening, checking the radio, make sure it worked.
Okay. Anyways, yesterday, so I'm constantly trying to be aware of this state that everything is coming from my mind. And I tell you, Lynn, and everyone, that there's so many layers to this ego, this I, because yesterday I was just going to turn into my driveway. And so I was slowing down and put my blinker on to turn into my driveway. And I guess somebody didn't see maybe that I had my blinker on and they were going to pass me, and I didn't see that they were getting irate. And they honked at me as I was starting to turn into my driveway. So I had the right of way, but immediately I caught that ego coming up inside of me. And it's all coming from the level of my mind. And here I am studying all these principles. And yet there was a rage inside of me for how dare them honk at me when I'm in the right. And then I had to just laugh at it. And like Rafi, I love Rafi's technique on just, let it go, release it, let it go. And so I worked on that and I was fine. But I tell you, there's layers to it because, I think my day I'm at peace. And then just this little incident happens where I get honked at, and I feel the rage. So thank you.
Thank you for that, Mickey. Yeah, boy, that's, you know, that's there for you to catch. And, like for me, it's to reinterpret. So, like, as soon as, I'm hearing somebody honking at me, I'm getting all pissed off right away. Then I was like, oh no, they're just saying, I see you there, I'm looking out for you. Be careful. I reinterpret what love was saying to me rather than what an ego was saying to me, because it's my own ego, and my own ego is angry with me about a lot of stuff. So, that for me to just reinterpret it. This is that was a call for love, simple and plain. And, if you return love for that, you're gonna find that your experience is gonna be a lot more pleasant. I think. But that's for me. That's how it works for me. So I see Rafi, and then Karen, and then Devin. And hi, welcome, Devin. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, little Maya. You're looking so beautiful today, my sweetie. Oh, what an angel. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, Rafi, go ahead.
Yeah, in regards to what everybody's been saying, this is just something that I do all the time, and it's a great exercise. If I'm with somebody who is irate, toxic, sad, even feeling good, first thing I do is shut up, don't react, and just in my head keep saying over and over again, I love you, 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 I love you. You are the divine light of love, the truth of being. You're not a person. And I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you, and I love you. And it's amazing how their attitude starts to shift while that's going on. And I'm not saying anything out loud, just letting them be their beingness. But that works not some of the time, but a lot of the time, all of the time. There's no time that it doesn't work. And yesterday, I walked into a place to buy some gelato, and I started talking to the guy behind the counter, and I started sending him love and love and love. And I ordered a pint of my favorite flavor, and he gave it to me for free, just sitting there, just loving him. And I didn't. And they said, "Don't worry, you're covered. I got you." Okay, thank you. We shook hands and I left. But all I was doing was loving. Is there a power more powerful than that? So an exercise I do all the time. I just thought I'd pass it along. Thank you.
Thank you, Rafi. Wow. Free gelato. This course pays. I love it. That's beautiful. Yeah. Love, 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 love. And that's, and you notice when you're doing that, you're filling up the well inside yourself as well. And you start feeling, better about everything too. That's how I am. That's why I'm so positive. I just intentionally just do it. Let's see. Go ahead, Karen, please.
Yeah, that was beautiful, Rafi. And I call that silent, unconditional love, you know? And I love, 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 love you for sharing that with us. And I want to know, I have more to share, but I want to know, what is your favorite flavor?
Fig almond.
What is it?
Fig almond.
Oh, that sounds yummy.
Ooh.
Never heard of that one. Yummy, yummy. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Also, I love what Iris shared on lesson 17, because that was my go-to lesson while I was recovering and still recovering from spinal surgery, because I would consistently, feel like it was the body that was causing my upset with everything I was going through. And I would stop and I would say, you know, It's the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it's the other way around. And the temptation was there every single day, every single moment of every single day. So that helped me so much, Iris. I love that lesson. And McKaylee, I could so relate to what you said. And Brooklyn, I see you're here, and that's Sneaky Pete. It's Sneaky Pete, which Brooklyn always says. It sneaks up. The ego sneaks up like that. And I was out with my uncle this morning. We went shopping. Every Saturday we go shopping. And there was a guy behind us on Germantown Pike, which is a fairly busy road and where I live. And my uncle got so mad because this person was beeping the horn at him because he wasn't going fast enough. And he stopped. He literally stopped, and he's screaming his lungs off at this guy. And I'm just sitting there, unconditional love, not saying a word, silent, unconditional love, not saying a word, and sending that out to everyone involved, because that goes to all. That goes to my uncle. That goes to the guy beeping the horn. That goes to me. That's exactly the way I handle it, Rafi. And it kind of helped. It helped me. But this is the insanity of the ego and also road rage, you know? So I just love hearing this, and I just love to be reminded, because it is always the mind, always the mind. It's always at the mind level. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Karen. Yeah, wow. Oh my goodness. All right. So it turns out, just to not to change the subject here, but I cannot be heard on Gather. I'm just going to have to face that, and then I won't do much talking and let you guys all talk, which is even better for me. But yeah, that's it's just so easy to believe your story. It's so easy to believe your thoughts. And, you don't have to believe them. They're lies. Rev Devon, my dear, the mic is all yours.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to see it all working out. I've noticed many layers in my life of, yes, just applying love as much as possible and attempting to just to see that, to let it happen. And it is rather interesting because a lot of people wonder how I get involved in things like road rage and different stuff. And because I don't see it as like, oh, this is a problem that needs loving. I see it as, oh, here I am joining with God. Oh, here I am joining with God. And it's not a matter of what it is. Like, oh, this can't be God because this is road rage. This is anger. This is something else. This is ego stuff. And I think of it more as, oh, if I think of it as ego stuff, I'm denying God. And so when I think of myself as being at peace or not, I'm not just in the sense of trying to be at peace in this with the situation, but rather in the situation. So to me, it's more like, I like to explain it where Devon's doing what a Devon does, and I'm back there. I'm in the background in a recliner, always at peace, or always enjoying or loving the situation. So if it, in that sense, if Devon's happy, then I'm happy to be happy. If Devon's mad, then I'm happy to be mad. If we're at peace to be mad, or however you want to say it. If Devon's sad, then I'm happy to be sad. And Devon has all this change. Devon has all this different things occurring, but the Christ doesn't. And the choice, I find the choice that was made, the misunderstanding that was made, was to believe that I was Devon, and then associate my reactions and its reactions to me. And then I feel guilty for being involved when it's not about being Devon. It's about remembering who you are and remembering that you are always love. That is what you are. It's not so much what you can apply. You can always apply yourself. You are yourself. So it seems to be a little bit of a misunderstanding so naturally and easily, believing that we are this person. Even Maya's believing she is who she is already. At least that's what it looks like to me. And something else, a side note, Maya's birthday is the exact opposite day of the year of mine. And to the day. It's pretty remarkable. And so I'm really excited that she's named Maya, because I am, and a reflection of Maya.
When did you say her birthday was? I didn't hear that.
It's the exact opposite day of the year as mine. So we, the half day, which is hers is September 31st. It was the big blue moon. And so we're just having this great connection. Oh, Maya. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Devin. Today is my unbirthday, so you may wish me that. And
yeah, is that the exact opposite day as we call it, the unbirthday?
No, I'm just kidding.
Will there be cake?
There is always cake.
My son and Trey, you just turned 9 yesterday.
Oh my goodness. Is that Helen Shuckman's birthday? I'm not sure. Or maybe it was July. Hers is July 14th. But anyways, so he's a little Gemini. How sweet. All right. Anybody else have any comments? Karen, please go ahead.
Yeah, my granddaughter's name is Maya. I love that name, Maya. Thank you, Devin, for what you shared. That really, really touched me. Denying when you said that, like, I'm denying God, I'm denying the truth. And so when I'm mad, be happy to be mad. When I'm sad, be happy to be sad. It's just an error thinking that I am Karen. I have forgotten who I am. And the Course says that all attack is self-attack. It comes from a decision not to be what you are. Exactly what Devin just said. So, I mean, that's just the way he worded it. I haven't quite heard it that way. And I really felt that. And it really helped me, and can I be happy to be mad? Can I be happy to be sad? Can I be happy? That is what the Course for me reminds me of, that true denial, denying that anything other than love can affect me, because it's all love. Like Devin said, it's love where I call for love. So that is the practice. That is the mind training my mind to reverse that projection back to the awareness where it's all coming from my mind. And which teacher do I want to listen to? So I just love that. I just wanted to say how much I love that. I'm going to remember that when I'm mad, when I'm sad, when I'm upset, I'm going to ask myself, can I be happy in this moment, regardless of what's happening? So thanks so much for that.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Karen. And really, it is loving what is. And really think about it. If everything that's happening here was in a script that was written long ago, and all we're doing is experiencing that, then to react to it with joy or anger or fear or love or any of those things, we have to be looking at it and believing that it's really happening right now, and it's happening to me right now. But it's not happening to me right now. It happened long ago, before time. I mean, it was when time began. So all these things, you with the road rage, me with the daughter in the ER, Devin with happy on birthday, all that stuff. Really, honestly, all of that is just a story that we're looking at. So how I choose to feel about it is up to me. If I want to be sad because Karen's angry or because Lynn's angry. Back up here. I want to be sad because Lynn's angry, then, that's a waste of my time. I can just look at it and say, yep, that appears to be what appears to be happening now. But that doesn't mean that it's got to affect me. In fact, if I can forgive it, it will disappear. And that's the point is, the reason it's in the system at all is because I'm paying attention to it. So forgiving it, I will come to the place where I no longer experience it that way. It actually shifts our experience from one of a world of fear and upset to one of a world of just joy. And that's what Devin's talking about. Just whatever happens, be joyful about it. Because change is impossible. So this whole paragraph, it's pointless to believe that controlling the outcome of misthought can result in healing. When you are fearful, you've chosen wrongly. That's why you feel responsible for it. You can't change your behavior. So you must change your mind, but not your behavior, because you can't change what is. You can only change your mind about what is happening. So the mind is the only place that we can change. And and correction belongs only at the level where change is possible. And when I change my mind about the problem does go away because the problem never existed in the first place. And that actually is the ultimate solution to the problem is changing my mind about it, and it no longer exists. It's not like because it never existed in the first place. And the only place it existed was in my thoughts about it. Karen, please go ahead.
Exactly, Lynn. And just to piggyback off of that, the in the lesson, I think it's 193, where he says, forgive and this will disappear. This is reminding me that it is all at the level of the mind. So there's nothing out there, like you said, there is no problem. That what it disappears is my interpretation of it. What disappears is the fear. What disappears is what's in my mind. It's the story I'm telling about it. That's what disappears, and that coincides with lesson 17. It's always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to think it's out there. It's not out there. It's never out there. And that is a total mind training every single moment of, just like today with the beeping of the horn with the guy behind us. You think first thought is somebody is out, that's destroying my peace right now. I was fine sitting there in the car, but my uncle really lost it. And I was really a little shocked at his behavior because he never gets like that. So, it was a little unusual for him to be that way. And so, but I was able to be at peace with that. I was able to be calm and exactly do what Rafi said. And that was really calming for me. And I think that when he saw me calm, it took him less time, I think, to calm down. So we do have an effect on people when we stay calm. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much too. And yeah, and we do have an effect on everybody around us. And you can definitely experience that if, whenever you go out amongst other people, that you just fully intend to be at peace and be of one mind in that intention and not allow yourself to stray. It becomes easier and easier and easier to where when people then say to you, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you so calm? It's like, There, I have nothing to complain about. Karen.
No, I can relate to you so much, Lynn, just to respond to you on what you shared earlier that, when you do stay calm, people get mad around you about it when you stay calm. And that is another experience I've had with my uncle because he feels like I'm not sticking up for him, like I'm not on his side, and he gets really angry. He says, why are you acting like that? What are you sticking up for them? You don't care about me or my thoughts. And so they take it really, really personally and they get angry, so that's when I just say no, it has nothing to do with that. It's just that I don't right now. I choose to be at peace. It has nothing to do with not taking your side. It has nothing to do with a side. It just has to do with my peace of mind that I don't want to allow this to upset my peace. Like he really gets offended sometimes when I don't join him in the anger. So I know when you said that earlier, and it's true, and that's it's interesting.
Yeah, yeah. And the same thing, my husband is the same way. And he is always saying, why are you defending these people? Why? And I finally came to realize really all I had to say to him was, the way you see things and think about things is not going to change me. And you love me for the person that I am. Why would you want me to be a different kind of person? You see me forgiving or letting go of many things that you do, and would you rather I became more judgmental? Would you really like it if I was to start pointing out your faults and uh is this what you want? You want me that way? And he was like, no, don't be dumb. But it's true, this is we can't let the world change us, just because it becomes uncomfortable. That discomfort is just an indication that, we're listening to a voice that's not the voice that loves us. And when we listen, this I got from Glenn Ganaway, listen to the voice that loves you. And that's what we got to do. That's what's going on here. Anybody have anything else about this paragraph? All right, let's go into paragraph 4 then. Who would like to read paragraph 4? This stuff is dynamite. I'm just so in love with it. Okay. I feel like the Jeopardy music is on. Do 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 do. No. Okay, I'll do it. Oh, Karen, will you read? Oh, you're muted.
I'll read because you said you can't be heard on the radio, right?
Right. Yeah, I was just going to go and try to change the microphone around, but if you'll read, I would
Oh,
appreciate
sure, sure.
it. Thank
Okay,
you.
so yeah, paragraph 4, the correction of fear is your responsibility. When you ask for release from fear, you are implying that it is not. You should ask instead for help in the conditions that have brought the fear about. These conditions always entail a willingness to be separate. At that level, you can help it. You are much too tolerant of mind wandering and are passively condoning your mind's miscreations. The particular result does not matter, but the fundamental error does. The correction is always the same. Before you choose to do anything, ask me if your choice is in accord with mine. If you are sure that it is, there will be no fear. That's just dynamite stuff right there. That is just, it's so comforting for me to know that the correction is always the same. Before you choose to do anything, ask me if your choice is in accord with mine. If you are sure that it is, then there will be no fear. So that just reminds me when I am, listening to, my thoughts and believing them, you know, I am in fear. I am in conflict. I am, worried and thinking that the problem is outside of me. So just stepping back and letting Holy Spirit lead the way, asking to see another way, and then once I recognized that, I was not aligned with the love. I was not aligned with the love. I was believing the lie. I was believing the lie. So, and isn't this the lesson? I mean, isn't this the paragraph that Ken refers to with Helen Dove that Jesus actually, I know a lot of things in the course he specifically meant for Helen, but wasn't this one of the ones that he specifically meant for Helen?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yes, yes. I'd love to hear what you have to say on it, Dove.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's actually repeated, I think, in page, I think it's 28 of the textbook. He says, listen, I can't take fear away from you, but I can tell you what the conditions are that bring the fear about. So it's up to us to let go of those conditions. And the condition is always the belief that I'm different, separate, apart, alone, etc. That's what brings the fear about. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at the textbook. I think that's what is that what we're reading? It's just, we just read that in the last section.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's also where he says the injunction, be of one mind, is the statement for revelation readiness.
Yeah.
So he's talking about doing, and Bruce and I were just talking about that in our reading of the Helen Schuckman absence from Felicity. Sorry, I'm looking for something behind me. uh, so, so this is, go ahead, Deb.
It's on the bottom of page 29. It's paragraphs 4 and 5. The correction of fear is your responsibility. And the next paragraph says, fear is always a sign of strain arising from whatever you want conflicts with what you do.
Yeah. So so that's right. That was just what we just read, paragraph 4. So what Karen just read was paragraph 4. So this is where he very famously says to us, you are much too tolerant of mind wandering and are passively condoning your mind's miscreation. And basically what he's saying is you're just letting your mind run amok, and you're thinking a lot of thoughts that are not conducive to your remembering the truth of who you are, letting go of fear. So, these fear thoughts are thoughts that come from your own imagination. What I think is going to happen, what I think has happened, what I think, and I believe me, if everything happened the way that we predicted in the future, this would be even more insane than it is now. We can't think things into existence. So we're imagining that what does he say here? These conditions always entail a willingness to be separate. And as Karen was pointing out in that text, chapter 5, the decision for God it is a being unkind or unloving to one of God's creations. It's always that's the very cause of all of it. The willingness to be separate. At that level, you can help it. You are much too tolerant of mind wandering and are passively condoning your mind's miscreations. It doesn't matter what the result is, because it's the fundamental error. The result is always going to be an error because it's just made of error. That's what it is. So and just as we were just reading Helen and Jesus telling her, hey, why don't you just ask me about these things and I will tell you and help you. And that's what he's saying here. Ask me and I will let you know, and you will know. Absolutely, you will know. Karen, please go ahead.
Yes, Lynn, thank you. And this also reminds me of in the Dreamer of the Dream section, where he talks about the guilt, because of all the many causes you perceived as bringing pain and suffering to you, your guilt was not among them, nor did you in any way request them for yourself. This is how all illusions came about. The one who makes them does not see himself as making them. Where did he say it in this paragraph?
The fundamental error.
Yes, the fundamental error. Thank you. Thank you. He says, whatever cause they have is something quite apart from him, and what he sees is separate from his mind. He cannot doubt his dream's reality because he does not see the part he plays in making them and making them seem real. And this is exactly what we're talking about, believing these thoughts, which are all really comes down to unforgiveness, and it's all it takes is that forgiveness, to forgive. And I will see this differently, forgive, and this will disappear, but as long as I'm believing this mind wandering goes right back for me to lesson 17. The mind wandering is believing that not the thought that comes first, but believing it's the other way around, believing that it's actually the cause of my upset is out there. So, this is all coming together, and it's all like, it's just crazy, but it's so true. It's insane. It's insanity.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. I just adore you and I'm so grateful. Rafi, please go ahead.
Yeah, on the subject of guilt, I used to use it as a joke, but I used to say, can we get the you out of guilt? We don't need it. I mean, it's just a waste of a you. And then I realized it wasn't a joke. What the heck is you got to do with guilt? Guilt is a mind thing. I'm not my mind. Guilt is a mind ego thing. I'm not my mind ego thing. And I looked at it, wow, how'd that happen? Well, there are no actions. It was meant to teach me a lesson. Get the you, the real you, out of guilt, and guilt is just another ego concept, just another program, just another word, and it has nothing to do with the truth of what we are. If I'm guilty or I'm not guilty, do I still exist as what I am? Yeah. Okay, so what has guilt got to do with anything? Nothing. It has to do with the mind. And it's trying to control things because ego mind, because that's what it does.
Thank you, Rafi. Yeah, I love that. Get the you out of guilt. And what happens if you take the you out of guilt? What is GILT? I think it means like fake gold, like like a gilded thing, um, or a way to uh, it makes something, decorate something um, with fake gold.
It's
Guilt.
just a sound. It's just a sound.
Yeah,
Like beep, beep, boop, boop, pop, pop, guilt. It's just a sound.
yeah,
You
that's
give it
it.
any other meaning like that, you're interpreting it, and that's ego. And
That's true.
we don't need any of that.
Absolutely. All right. Anybody else have anything on this paragraph? Let's go take a look at paragraph 5. And who would like to read paragraph 5? You know what? I'm just going to switch the mic on gather and read paragraph 5, because poor Larry keeps coming in with like, why am I not hearing sound? And so, and you can both hear me here, and then I'll just switch over when I'm done. So I'm going to read paragraph 5. Fear is always a sign of strain, arising whenever what you want conflicts with what you do. This situation arises in two ways. First, you can choose to do conflicting things, either simultaneously or successively. This produces conflicted behavior, which is intolerable to you because the part of the mind that wants to do something else is outraged. Second, you can behave as you think you should, but without entirely wanting to do so. This produces consistent behavior, but entails great strain. In both cases, the mind and the behavior are out of accord, resulting in a situation in which you are doing what you do not wholly want to do. This arouses a sense of coercion that usually produces rage, and projection is likely to follow. Whenever there is fear, it is because you have not made up your mind. Your mind is therefore split, and your behavior inevitably becomes erratic. Correcting at the behavioral level can shift the error from the first to the second type, but will not obliterate the fear. So, wow, this is a real analysis of the ego mind and how the ego mind actually works, and makes the decisions that it makes for acting and reacting in the way that it does. So, first, what is it? Well, first off, it is what do they call it when you uh, it's a clinical term for when you believe one thing but do another. Um, anyway, and I always forget I always forget what it is, so I must be really resistant to it. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance. When I believe one thing but I do another. And what's an example: cognitive dissonance. I go to church on Sunday. And I proclaim my love for God and for my fellow human. And then I go out on the road and see somebody trying to turn into their own driveway and get ticked off and beat my horn at them. That's cognitive dissonance. I've said I believe one thing, but I'm acting in a different way, a way that is in conflict with what I said I believed or think I believe. And we do this all the time. This is common ego behavior. So first, you can choose to do conflicting things either simultaneously or successively. So even at the same time, or I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do that. I'm going to, go, let's see, work the charity booth for my kids' school fair. And then later I'm going to go home and, get drunk and beat up my wife. I don't know. These are things that do not match. They don't go together. Who I think I am and who I am, how I'm acting are completely different. And so that is intolerable. This produces conflicted behavior, which is intolerable to you because the part of the mind that wants to do something else is outraged. So the part of the mind that says, "Hey, but I want to be a good person. I don't want to beat my wife," then then you're going to feel guilty because you went up against your belief. And second, you can behave as you think you should, but without really wanting to do so. And I can think of many things like uh, priests being celibate. That's a great great picture of the kind of conflict that comes into the mind when you say I have to be a certain way, and yet the rest of my being wants something else. And it may produce consistent behavior, but it entails great strain, and people do terrible things when they are forced to do or live outside of their own, how they really want to be. So that those are a couple of cases where the behavior is an indication of what is going on in the mind. So this arouses a sense of coercion that usually produces rage, and projection is likely to follow. And then it's like, you made me do it. So wherever there is fear is because you have what? Not made up your mind. So we're back to that being of one mind. And his advice, he says, your mind is therefore split and your behavior inevitably becomes erratic. Correcting at the behavioral level can shift the error from the first to the second type, but it will not obliterate the fear. So we can change our behavior, but if we don't go to the actual cause, why it is I'm behaving this way, and make that fundamental change, then we're we're still going to be in fear, and we're going to still be suspicious of ourselves, suspicious of our motives, suspicious of our wants and needs, suspicious of our bodies. I mean, really, it just causes you to be really, really in fear. And a mind that's in fear is a pretty dangerous thing, as we see in the world today. Anybody have any thoughts about that? Dub, please go ahead.
Yeah, it sounds like that we're not thankful for what we have. And the Antichrist is, I want something different, something more, something better. So you can't possibly be happy if you're not thankful for what you have. You know, uh, I think some of the lessons are I give thanks for the gifts that God has given to me. I think it could even be today's lesson. I'm not sure, but if you're not thankful for what you are, for 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 what's really valuable, what's valuable belongs to me. Lesson 133, and you're valuing something that is valueless. I mean, that's going to completely turn you upside down, which is what this world is. Thanks.
Thank you, Dub. Yes, exactly. And yeah, completely turn you upside down. Iris, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn. This bit where it says that whenever there is fear, it is because you have not made up your mind. Your mind is therefore split, and your behavior inevitably becomes erratic. So this bit about to making up our mind is very interesting. Yeah, this bit is very interesting. I really do need to stay with this for a bit because it's true, because like even with lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, any of the lessons, but this lesson, I'll just take an example. I'm never upset for the reason I think. And then the one after that, I'm upset because I see something that's not there. And how quickly, do I forget, that I'm upset because I see something that's not there. So fear is upset. So there's like another part that says, no, it is there. I'm upset because I see this thing, and why does that happen? It's because I've not made up my mind that I am never upset for the reason I think. I'm upset because I see something that is not there. That so I forget that I'm not seeing things correctly. And like in the first lesson, nothing I see here means anything. So, but I forget that, like, because I do think it means something. Why? Because I have a split mind. I haven't made up my mind that the truth is true. I think something else is true. And the truth is true, but only sometimes. And like there's that line in the course that says that something like you cannot be fully committed sometimes. And that's what happens, like, because I've not made up my mind that only truth is true. And therefore, I experience fear. Um, because I didn't make up my mind that whatever the course is telling me is true. I think there's another way. And like I'm vacillating the whole time. And it's very interesting. I need to stick with this because it really applies to me big time. So I'll just hand over to Lynn.
Thank you, Iris. Yes, I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think you were right there. I love it. So beautiful. Thank you. Karen, please go ahead.
Thank you, Iris. Interesting. I was looking at the same sentence, and what came to me is in chapter 6, where he says the way out of conflict between two opposing thought systems is clearly to choose one and relinquish the other. That's so simple. I mean, it's so simple. Choose one and relinquish the other. That's, for me, it's recognizing, that, like you said, I'm never upset for the reason I think. I am not upset because of what's going on outside of my mind. I'm upset because I chose to listen to the attack thoughts in my mind, and I believe them. And the other thing that you said, Lynn, like this paragraph you said is the analysis of the ego mind, and you said that's cognitive dissonance. And that reminds me of when I was listening to Ken, and he was talking to everyone, and he was just saying how easy it is to forget. As soon as you walk out this door, you forget everything that was just heard. You go out there and you get in an argument with someone, or get upset because they don't have the flavor of ice cream that you wanted at lunchtime, or whatever, fill in the blank. So that is I mean, something just to notice and pay attention to. How often do I get upset when things don't go my way? How often do I forget? You know, um, and also it also reminds me of honesty. The consistency that he's talking about. If you can scroll up to the beginning, um, he talks about fear is always a sign of strain arising whenever what you want conflicts with what you do. The situation arises in two ways. First, you can choose to do conflicting things either simultaneously or successively. This produces conflicted behavior, which is intolerable to you because the part of the mind that wants to do something else is outraged. Second, you believe that as you think you should. Second, you can behave as you think you should, but without entirely wanting to do so. This produces consistent behavior, but entails great strain. So there's no consistency, where honesty talks about the consistency, which is for what Devin was talking about, the love. It's consistent with love. You're thinking about only loving thoughts. And that's consistent with everything you do, even if it's disagreeing with someone, or even if it's not disagreeing with someone, but even if it's agreeing with someone that you really don't agree with, but you want to do the most loving thing. And the most loving thing right now is, even if I don't agree with this guy, you know what? The peace is more important than that. So I'm going to go with the consistency of honesty and be true to, that teacher of kindness, the teacher of love, the Holy Spirit, the truth of what we are. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense to me, but thanks. That's all I have to share.
That makes total sense to me. That's exactly what I saw and how I saw it as well. So yeah, perfect. Honesty is consistency, and consistency is being of one mind, which is one of the characteristics, or one of the, yeah, of miracle principles of miracle workers. Brooklyn, please go ahead. And then if Devin is available after you speak, we will do a meditation. Brooklyn, go ahead.
Namaste, mighty companions. Oh, let me get my video on. My video isn't coming on. Sorry about that. Something's wrong with my computer, but thank you so much for reminding me of core. Yeah, I don't know why I gave ego so much power, but it's oh gee, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. The application is not responding.
Oh, that stinks. Brooklyn, can you hear us at all? Maybe you should just go out and come back in if you can hear me. Leave the room and come back. All right. And hopefully she will be back in a moment. Let's see. You get set up for our meditation. And Devin, hopefully you're there. Let's see. This one is a healing and regenerating the tissue. All right. So let me get. That stinks. Brooklyn is gone. Hopefully she'll be back. Let's see. That was advanced. Yeah, they change all this stuff over here on Zoom, so share sound. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna put on some music, and Devin, if you're here, I will listen for you there you are. Hey, sweetheart. All right, here goes our music.
Take this time to allow yourself to relax and breathe. Every breath relaxing a little bit more. Letting go of everything you find important. Everything can wait a few more minutes. Allow yourself to relax, surrendering. Oh, that's a nice thought. Let it pass by. Yes, there's a thought. Let it go. Thank you for your ideas. Right now, we're going to be still and silent. Thank you. Your ideas are noted. But right now, we're focusing, relaxing our minds, coming to find a stillness, allowing ourselves to drift away. Let it all go. Drift away. Drift away. Let yourself surrender. Naturally, you become more attentive. What's happening in your mind? That's a nice thought, thank you. Letting it pass by, surrendering it. Allowing yourself to relax and breathe. Letting it all drift away. Drift away. Drift away. I choose to let it all go. I choose to surrender. Let it all go. Let it drift away. Drift away. I let myself be what I am as I focus and grow attentive. I hear your ideas, but I do not need them. I hear your thoughts, but I let them pass. I'm choosing to drift away into the presence. Surrendering, relaxing, allowing everything to dissolve away. As everything slows down. Everything disappears. It all to float away. I am ready, God. I am willing. I am ready. I am willing. I am ready. I am willing. I am ready. I am yours. I am yours. I am yours.